When a migrant family arrives in a new country, it is often under dramatic consequences. But after the first few days in country, the family quickly recognizes that it needs to organize all the necessary documents, starting with the residence permit, registering in the health and social security systems, as well as educational and workplace administration. Often, all these papers, forms, and registration lists are themselves quite complicated, but additionally, they are in an unfriendly foreign language. However, neglecting any one of these administrative duties may have severe consequences. So, the assistance of the transition mentor in the early stage of migrants arriving in a new country is essential. In the transition phase of families' arrival in the new country, meeting material and practical needs becomes a priority. This requires administrative management by parents and transition mentors. In the particular contents of early life family care, this may include addressing together specific issues such as registering mothers-to-be at a maternity hospital and applying for a birth certificate for the newborn.
Gary, so you help migrant families to go through all these administration duties. I would like to ask you, in places like this, if I imagine they have no car at the beginning, how do they get to all those places? Because we are not in Vienna. So is it like how usually this works, spatially?
Yes, this works like this because the refugee camps are always outside the town, and we give them their own roadmap, and we try to explain them where they have to go, and we go step by step through.
So technically they take a bus, or how do they move in the country?
Depends where they live. Some few spots they can walk, yeah, and otherwise they take the bus or even they go with the train. But at the beginning they have a problem because they have a green card or a white card, and this is depends on the district, so they cannot go out the district. So we must look that every point where they have to go is in the district also.
In order to meet the material and practical needs of migrant families at the point of arriving in the new country, transition mentors should know the basic administrative and bureaucratic steps to be taken concerning the dual transition phase of arrival in the host country and becoming parents, and provide direct support or connection to relevant professionals to the migrant families where needed. They should be able to conjointly with migrants assess the family's needs and resources, as well as the level of their ability to act autonomously. They should be able to maintain an overview of tasks families have to complete in a collaborative way and be able to monitor the family's progress in accomplishing these tasks. Now, watch the video and take notes. What are Jerry's tips for being a good transition mentor in order to assist the migrant family with the administrative steps?
I saw that you asked several times, do you have any questions? Is everything clear? And I myself, being a migrant, I know that sometimes in the hospital they ask me, but I'm like, okay, if I have a question, I have to formulate it in German, so I rather say everything is clear, but everything is not clear. How do you deal with it? How sure you are that if they say no questions, that everything is clear?
You never be sure. Yeah, you never be sure, and you know when they don't understand, when they have to go twice or three times the same way. Yeah, but I must say they help each other also, because when they are in the camp, another person was already there and they show him how to come there or what to do, and they help a lot.
So it means that if we were in the camp, it's possible that besides the clients, you would have a transition mentor from migrants they would come with somebody. And how do these ties happen? Is it like, is it the family ties, or is it just because they end up in the same situation?
They end up in the same situation. and there are always people that want to help because they got help before, and so they want to. I don't know how to say. Wie sagt man das? Yeah, they just want to help. That's all.
How many languages do you use in your work?
It's hand and legs the most important. Then when the camp is full, we have translation in their own language. Also, freiwillig, was heißt freiwillig?
Voluntary.
Voluntary, yes. They do it, they just ask for helping. Yeah, that's very helpful also for the social workers. And few of the social workers are migrants before. Yeah. And when we don't understand the language, we speak with hands and English a little bit and a little bit German because they get German course. So we try, and with pictures, we have pictures.
In his work, Gerald Steiner assists migrant families on a daily basis and completed the needed administrative and bureaucratic steps. In the previous discussion, he gave several tips on how to be a good transition mentor in this respect. First, be patient. Sometimes migrant families need to try to organize an administrative task several times. It may help them to be empowered and to be more ready for more administrative challenges that they are about to face. If there are friends around who are willing to help the migrant family, this is a big advantage. Often, there is a language barrier between the transition mentor and the migrant family. Do not hesitate to improvise. Use all the languages you know and help yourself by using your hands and your legs. Lastly, it is good for migrant families to share their experiences among each other. It may help them to get ready to meet all of their practical needs, including taking the most important administrative steps while settling in the new country. And what about you? What would you recommend based on your life and professional experience? Did you ever need assistance while managing migrants' administrative requirements? Were you supporting someone else in doing this? Think about this and write down your tips. In this video, you first reflected on the need to focus on negotiating the practical steps when migrants arrive in a new country, including all the administrative requirements. You learned about the transcultural competence profile that describes the overall set of competences of the transition mentor. Based on the discussion with the family worker, Gerald Steiner, you could learn that patience, empowerment, volunteer help, and multilingualism all help to make the administrative management process to be as smooth and as successful as possible. Of course, as a good transition mentor, you have to have first a good orientation of all the required administrative steps. However, be aware that all the administrative requirements are also an ever-changing process and that readiness for change is a big part of being a good transition mentor.